I'm depressed, guys. I'm depressed.
What happened, man? What happened?
Because tomorrow, it's Bionicle's over tomorrow. Like, we have one reboot, but the story's done.
Dang.
Yeah.
So Empire Falls tomorrow, audience, So
How long have we been doing this? It's been like a year of Bionicle, right? Or has it been like a year and a half, I think?
no, it has to have been more than a year at this point, man.
I'd have to go back on the channel and see. But
Mm-hmm.
I bet you in 5 minutes I probably could track it.
Got you.
But like, yeah, it's just crazy. I've never I never been with the series this long. I don't think.
No matter how busy you were, man, you always made sure you gave us that Bionicle content.
Yeah, I have 3 ongoing books, and I said and at one point I had to drop all of them just so I could do them from review something for Monday, and I kept Bionicle. I was like, this is the one I gotta finish.
Dang.
Yeah.
So yeah. Here's us talking about plastic toy people, and when we're supposed to be talking about blue people, right?
Well, there's a similarity because the first story was an island tribe-esque type feel, a jungle feel.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, write your own fan fiction of a crossover, audience, between Bionicle and Avatar and see what happens.
I feel like that could work, honestly. And you have the Toa who are all the elements, so
yeah, I feel like there will be real homies if you put the two factions together, So
it's true. We are okay. So I'm looking back. The Metro Nui saga I reviewed a year ago, and that's not even the first saga. Let's see. I'm still going back, and I'm looking at our thumbnails because I remember I used to tell you to upload individual pictures of the arcs whenever I started a new arc. So I'm trying to find the first one.
Gotcha. The step-by-step process to get the hang of the thumbnails and the pictures.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at our heavily. We've come a little bit of a ways since the original thumbnails.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll say it's been a year and some change.
But
yeah.
Good. Yeah.
But yes, as Cryptid said, we're here to talk about Avatar, Fire and Ash. It is going to be us two today because Austin doesn't like these blue people. He's racist, actually.
Oh wow!
The several alien species.
Well, to be fair, audience, can you all recognize each individual avatar? Really, if you have them all in a room together,
I would just look at their hair.
Names? Will you be confusing their names?
I will look at their hair, but you know what? That's fine because I think it's the same for like different cultures. Like if you went to like learning Japanese names as like an American is hard at first. You know what I mean? Because they're like, it's a different way of like going over things. So that is pretty accurate. So, but I would just look at their hair. I think their hair is a good indication of like who they are. I feel. But.
Okay. Yeah. For some, it might be easier than others. Audience, Although, but we can't pinpoint who Spider is in a party.
Yes, bro, he's really he's the needle in the haystack. So
I will like you're going to Avatar barbecue and you're like, "Where's Spider?" You're asking people, "Where's Spider?" And they're all like, "Who are you talking about?" Come on, don't make me say it, man. Come on, don't make me say it. Who are you talking about? This Spider. One human. Oh, okay, the human boy. I should be saying, the guy with dreads, the guy with blue markings, before I go to the human,
Oh, yeah, all right, guys. Well, I guess you want to just get started. I mean, there's no reason to do an intro, right? You want to?
You guys know who we are at this point. I'm Cryptid Seeker 415. You know me, human side always. So yeah.
And I'm Jake Tylenol. I'm possibly the last chronicler of the Bionicle series. And after tomorrow, my journey will come to its end.
There you go. Then together,
we're the
Phanatics.
Yes, we fusion dance into the Phanatics. There's only 2 of us. What's our fusion name, you think? Jake Zeker?
Cryptid Tylenol?
Kryptonol?
Oh, that dude, you know that's a ship name, right? Oh God,
Oh,
no,
you know what?
name on I believe. No, no. You know, everybody will want to pair somebody off with any random person out there. God dang it. Yeah, let's not give anybody ideas. So yeah.
Yeah, but we have our podcast Twitter, which is Comic Fanatic 69. I will promote Witch's stuff, but Witch isn't here, so we're just gonna skip that, I
Yep.
suppose.
So go follow Witcher Yoden in his usual channel, that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe; really helps us out, and also leave a comment because it also boosts us in the algorithm. The more you talk about it, so
Yay. So all right, and so thank you all for joining us, and we're about to be talking about the Avatar Fire and Ash. So let's just give a brief overview of what we thought about this before we go into spoiler territory. What did you think, Jake? Since you're more familiar with this franchise than I am.
yeah. So a little bit of history. Watched Avatar. We all watched Avatar. It was a cultural event. James Cameron's Avatar, and I think we all walked away going like, "That was okay." It looks it was all right. And then I think it aged worse with a lot of people. Way of Water is when everybody's opinions in art and this server and this team kind of deviated. I think I was the one who watched it at the time, and I was like, "Oh, this is better. I like this a lot more." I don't think it's like great, but I think it's better. And I really love the final fight of two. I think two has the best of the three, the best final fight.
It has the one up of having this being surrounded by water, so you have a lot of fun visual graphics to play with. You know.
Yeah, from Natiri's crash out to like Courage being like, Jake, I'm never gonna stop hunting you down. So let's just end this here. And then, bro, the line when Jake turns up, and he's like, "Let's get it done." And then they start fighting that pop. That I'm like, yes. That was the one time I was rooting for Jake Sully. I love that.
Oh,
So I liked Way of Water. And now we're at the third one, and I gotta say, I think it is the best one. That said, I think it's the least rewatchable one for me.
Ooh. Okay, I'm kind of like a little bit opposite there, actually. You know.
Oh, you think it's the worst one?
Well, actually, no, in the sense of rewatchability. You know. Well, because of one specific character, but we'll get to him when we get there.
That was fun. The surprising rising star of this franchise, huh? He was not that interesting in the first movie at all. He was just a generic military guy, and then like James Cameron's done a lot of good work with this character. We're going to get into later.
Yep. So
yeah,
gotcha. As for my overview of this audience, like I didn't watch the second movie until recently, like I think it was like a week or two ago, you know, just for the sake of this movie. I mean, I was looking forward to this movie because god dang, I hate this like trope that like that's Hollywood seems to be doing where you take like a tribe like from Avatar, right? And you're trying to like establish like this whole place was a utopia, right? We never had conflicts with any other tribes, or you know, we were all peaceful, all our weapons are used for hunting game animals, you know. We never turned our weapons on our neighbors, you know, but it was only the humans. When they came, that's when all the atrocities happened. Okay? But now, leading up to this movie, I mean, you saw her in all the advertisements for this. You have like the Fire Tribe this time, and they are actually the legit bad guys. I'm like, okay, you know, you have dozens of tribes out here in this Pandora world. There's bound to be a couple villainous groups out there. Is what I'm trying to say, audience. And I'm glad this touched on that. But I gotta say, you do kind of feel like between this and Way of Water that they were both kind of filmed back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really good idea. We watched Way of Water the week before this one.
Yeah. I mean, don't let the title fool you. I mean, for a movie called Fire and Ash, I mean, there's a lot of water sequences in this. Like, it's surprisingly, I was expecting like the final, in the last first movie, it was a lot of aerial battles, in that one, and the jungle and earth and this and that. Second movie, it was a water battle, in the sea and the ocean, that stuff. This one, I was kind of expecting this battle to be taking place like, I don't know, in a volcano, in a burned out forest or whatnot, but no, it was just back to the ocean, it was kind of a little bit of a letdown there, you know. Um, yeah, but what
Also,
can you
we
do?
see their land, and I guess like I didn't know what I was expecting, but it was kind of a letdown to me. It was just like, oh,
We're-
it's just some desert place.
Oh yeah, the fire people. Oh, the fire people's
The
place. Yeah,
Main Quan, the Main Quan.
the main Quan. Okay, yeah, but I think if you were to time it together, we only got like what about 10 minutes of content from that land, and I'm not including the part where we see Miles and Varang in that tent. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it was kind of sad that we missed an opportunity to explore more of their people because hey, they seem like interesting people to explore. You know,
yeah,
like
the anti Navi, they're like, we fuck Awa. We don't give a shit about her. Like, we
oh,
humans
oh
want
yeah.
to ransack Awa. I don't give a shit. Let them do it.
They're like the Antichrist sort of tribe, you know. I mean, god damn, they have their own equivalent to scalping people, like which is like they go to like fight on the other tribes, right? And they literally slice apart that little tentacle thing in their back and use those as trophies, basically.
did
God damn.
Did you also recognize that you asked a lot of questions in Way of Water that were answered in this movie?
Oh, okay, yeah, specifically with yeah, the daughter, this and that. Yeah.
And then you also asked, I don't really remember, you asked like, so can the Navi, like, does it have to be consensual on both sides for the Navis to
Mhm,
connect their brains together? And in this
mhm.
movie, they tell you like straight up, no, it does not have to be consensual. It could just be one. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
makes sense. You know, you need your consent. You know,
Right.
some places need their consent, some places don't. Apparently, you know.
Yes,
So,
you can actually force yourself. Well, you can force
oh,
you can force your brain into somebody's and like paralyze them. Yeah,
oh wow.
yeah.
Sounds like a certain R word right there. You know.
Well, I think that's what's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, I want to delve into that when we get to Varang. That's her name's character,
Yes, wrong.
right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll delve into that when we get to her character, but let's just give our basic overview of this.
Mhm.
I thought this movie was fine. You know, there are definitely characters I wish this expanded more on. You know what? I kind of feel like Avatar kind of needs to be its own TV series to let certain characters
Thank you.
get more in depth. You
I
know?
was saying to say so. I'm watching the movie. I'm enjoying it. Right, it's moving a lot quicker than the other two. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is great. This is what I wanted in the first two. Right,
Hmm.
and I think it's after you meet the Fire Tribe, and I'm like, okay, everything's going good. I think once the chasing, because the act one is just one long chase scene between
Hmm.
the Sully family, Miles, and the Mak Kwang.
Yeah.
And once that ends, it kind of becomes like episodic television. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you ever get that feeling where it was like there was moments in the movie where it felt like, oh, this could have just been, excuse me, this could have just been where the episode ended, right here.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Hmm.
like I was just thinking about this, and there's like I was like, and I was watching the film, and I was like, I'm enjoying my time here, but I think I would have liked to have seen this on Disney Plus as like a TV show
I
better.
know.
Um,
That would have been, I mean, it would have been an expensive project to make, but I mean, you kind of needed it for like certain characters to develop, you know?
I
Hmm.
think I think when people say it feels like everybody's there's criticism I've seen where people say like the writing for these characters is not that is like flat. It's not that great.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um, I
you
think
don't have
but I
time.
don't agree. I think everybody gets developed. I think it's just that they're all getting developed at the same time, and there's only so
Yeah,
much attention that each character can get in a 3 hour, or damn near 3 hour film.
I
Um,
know, right? Like,
yeah, like Sully, like Jake, Natiri, both have their own character arcs, which by
mhm,
themselves could have been a whole movie just about that, right?
yeah,
And then Spider has an arc, which by the way
yeah,
takes over the movie halfway through, like it just becomes the main plot of the movie.
yeah,
Loak has his plot, which it was cool, but it just kind of comes and goes, so it never really feels like it's done.
uh-huh,
Um, and then you have Kiri, who again has a major plot. I thought that should have actually been the central plot of the movie.
yep,
Um, but her plot just kind of gets it comes and goes,
mhm,
and Took just kind of is there. I still don't
yeah,
accept
yeah,
there. But I think my problem with this film comes down to the fact that I do appreciate that this time around every character has something to do, but everything they want to do is it's too much at the same
mhm,
time. And this really could have
mhm,
been a TV show where you could have expanded the runtime a bit, And you could have had episodes dedicated to these characters getting over their issues, but instead it feels like none of them kind of get a proper arc except for Miles Quaritch. Okay, like he's the only, the only one. He's the only character. The villain of the film is the only character with a complete character arc almost. So,
yep.
I think this should have been a TV show. Honestly, 100% agree.
Same here. Well, okay. I think we kind of gave our thoughts on the basic overview of this. You want to go full spoiler territory now?
Yeah, just for people, we're gonna head into spoilers. But before that, well, let's go over the ratings. I think I'm gonna put mine like a 7.5 out of 10. I had time to sit on it.
Okay. For me, I guess I would give it more of an 8 just because of the GOAT of this series. Honestly, like after watching this movie, there's one specific character audience. I kind of even want to go as far as to read a book or even a comic series dedicated to one specific character alone. And he's going to be the first one we're going to talk about. Audience.
That's good. Good
yeah. All right. So he alone is the one who was carrying this film for me. So I'm
Also,
giving it a comfortable 8,
An 8, yeah. Cryptid, we talked about 2 characters in the second movie, and you said, "Oh, this character is thinking with his dick." And I said, "Not in this film, but I'm sure in the next film it'll happen." And it happened. I don't know if you remember who I'm talking about.
Let's see. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's on. Yeah. Okay. We'll get to him. So yeah. Gotcha. All right, then. With that, audience, we're now going to go in the spoiler territory, and we're going to start off character by character. So be warned. So, all right, let's see. Let me bring up that picture first. First person we'll talk about is Miles Quaritch. Like,
bro, why is he he's posing for a Mortal Kombat trailer?
I know, right? Like he's just that badass, man. He walks into any room, even back when he was a human, man. You know he's gonna make his presence known, man. He's the type that'll have, he'll walk into a room and he'll already have a plan to kill everybody in that room, if he has to, Miles, like, look, in this series, as Jake said before, he has a character journey here. It is amazing to see where you saw him in the first film, right, to where he is right now. But he's still fighting for the human side, of course. There's this one line I loved from him when, he and Jake were on their journey together. Like Miles is like saying, "I don't care what color my skin is. I know whose side I'm on," or something along that line.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm like, yeah, Team Humanity, audience. I'm sorry, you gotta be Team Human all the way. Come on, because we're all human, So yeah, he doesn't give a damn about who he has to step on in order to, fight for. Well, I wouldn't go as far as just to say country, but for his people, So, yeah, he's cool. Jake, what do you think of him?
I remember in the first movie, I did not give a fuck about Miles. I thought he was just generic bad guy, right? And then the sequel came along, and he comes back. I'm like, oh god, here we go. He's gonna come back and be this thing. But like even in the sequel, I'm like, oh, he's becoming like a character now. Okay, I actually like this. Like his relationship with Spider. And him, and they have this subtle plot line where he was actually kind of terrified about Neytiri for a bit because she was the one that killed him, not Jake.
Yeah,
yeah. And so when he saw the arrow, I remember he saw the arrows. He's like, "Oh fuck!" Like you could see him like grab his like neck because he's like, "Oh fuck, she's gonna kill me." It was subtle things like that made me really like Quaritch in the second one, and I like how gung ho he is about Jake Sully. Like it's almost like principle at this point. I think he tells Sully at one point, Jake at some point, he's like, dude, like, I only care about you more than anybody here because not only did I trust you, you betrayed me and then killed my brothers and sisters for these people. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm still gonna get you. We're never gonna be friends. And so, like, but I like that's his mindset. I like how even the military is like, bro, just let him go. Like, it's one guy. We can go around him. We don't have to actually fight him. And he's like, nah, I gotta go.
What we did,
but I think what I liked more, I think in this movie even more, is doubling down on his strengths as a character. How he is growing more accustomed to being in the Na'vi body. Excuse me. This movie brings up brings up the question, like, is he the original Quaritch or is he his own person?
Yeah.
Does he have to be the Jake Sully hunter, or can he be his own man? You see that fleshed out with his relationship with Varang, which I don't think was the fleshed out as much as it could have been, but I did like it was there. You see him at, there's like a cool scene where you see him, like Jake has a conversation with him. He's like, why don't you just actually try experiencing the world for the first time? Like, see, you're hunting me so much, but like, what about this world? You're a part of it now. And it's very small, but there's a scene where all the Mang Quan are at the fire, and they're doing like this. They're like telling stories and all this stuff. And you see Quaritch come up, and he has no suit on. Like, he's, for the first time, he's not wearing his military gear. He's like, let me sit with you guys. Let me figure out what's going on. I also like too how he took that advice his own way. He didn't join the good guys. He said, "Well, I like these fire people. They're pretty cool. I'm gonna just hang out with them." So,
they're more of my style, you know.
right.
Look, before we continue on, Jake, I just want to read some of the comments right here from our good friend Tevia. Let's see Tevia's opinion on this. This movie was such a waste of time. Like, seriously, 3 hot. Oh, he meant 3 hours. They really should have stick with the Ash people. I can agree on that. Yeah, I want to see more of them explored. For a movie that's literally called Fire and Ash, I would expect it to be delving more into about the tribe that's all about the fire. You know?
Yeah, they halfway did it, but I did like the idea that Quaritch was becoming to them what Jake Sully was to the Sky people. I thought that was kind of like a cool parallel.
You want to talk about parallels, man? I love the fact that, like, you know, he even has his own fling, right? That's basically like the evil version of Jake and Natari.
Natiri, yeah.
Natiri, yeah. Let me bring up that picture. This was a match made in hell audience, basically. I love the like little scene where, you know, dude, she brings him to the tent, and you know, she's basically like seducing him in a really dominatrix sort of way. I mean, right down to, like, you know, her holding on to that tentacle of his and having a knife in there. And, you know, I don't have to paint you a picture of what that kind of symbolizes right there with what the tentacle represents of those people, you know?
You remember what he said to her when she brought it up?
What?
She was like, she's like, or I could just make you my slave, and da-da-da. And then he goes like, oh, that sounds like a fun weekend, but that's not what
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so... I like these two people. It was just so, again, a match made in hell, right? You know how, like, you were enjoying like Shao Kahn and Sindel? Like, I know that was a controversial thing, but that's kind of how I enjoyed these two. You know, these two will wreak havoc. I mean, I wouldn't mind if, like, you know, if we get a 4th film, right? I would like to see like their take on having their own children together. You know, I mean, at that point, where would Quaritch's allegiance lie at that point? Because, you know, he's very pro-human on the human side, you know. But okay, you have a child with this Avatar woman. Okay, so now where's that kid's allegiance gonna be? You know,
right?
Yeah.
I really like. I think Quaritch, again, for the character I did not care about in the first movie, Quaritch has become the best character in this franchise for me, to the point where I know I'm the guy who's always like, I don't like bringing villains back to life and all this other stuff, but like, I feel like we lose something if Quaritch is not here.
Yeah. So, like, for how he supposedly went out in the last film, like, you know, I might as well just, I mean, in this film, you know, I might as well just say, like, him supposedly falling to his death in a ring of fire, that alone doesn't even seem like it does proper service to him, you know? No, that's not nowhere near as badass as he should be going out, you know?
I also love at that moment he was really human. Like, it was like the point where like him and Jake are having this like intense ass fight. Like they're fighting on the top of the mountains, and everything's falling apart around them. And Spider's trying to help Jake, and then he winds up fucking up and like falling over. And then in that moment, these two, both fathers of Spider, stop their fight to save him. And dude, I love how all of Quaritch's dialogue was fucking great. He's falling. he saves Spider, and he's like, Spider's like, pull me up. He's like, well, it probably would have been easier if he didn't shoot me in the arm. Which you do that. and he's like,
Yeah.
and all he thinks is, he's like, oh my god, what am I doing? Why am I saving you? And he keeps trying, but he does. He winds up saving him. And then I look at this awkward pause where him and Jake are looking at each other. They're like, well, that was awkward.
Tevye is saying, knowing him, he would abandon Spider easily. I don't see that.
No, he would not. No, I don't know about the original Miles Courage, but this one definitely would not.
Nah, he's too much heavily invested in him. And he's also saying, if we get a fourth movie, which I doubt it at this point, money is the ultimate deciding factor, like no matter what. Even if the movie does critically bad, if it still makes bank, they'll make a movie out on that.
Audiences are enjoying it. That's a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score.
Yep. And plus, it's going to be the Christmas season pretty soon, so hey, it's perfect timing to go watch with a family and that stuff. I mean, heck, what's its other competition at the end of the day? The Housemaid? Come on, And let's see. Tevye is also saying, I am surprised Korlick saved Spider.
I'm not. It's in his character too.
Yeah.
He always loved Spider. He never had a problem with Spider. Spider could betray him a million times, but I mean, he does love his son. It was very clear in the second movie.
Yeah,
Also, it was the fact that Spider saved his life in the last movie, so it's him returning the favor.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let's see, what more can I say about Cordage? Yeah, I loved him and Varong duking it up. Like, the point of where he's even allowed to be invited to the barbecue at this point for those people. He comes in. Let me bring up the first picture again. He comes in full decked out in their colors, their face paint, their ash. Dude, he is an honorary member amongst those people, which is what I liked. What else can I say about him? Every line about him is pretty badass and smoking, he fights. No matter how you feel about him being bad or being the quote unquote villain, keep in mind he's fighting for your side, So
I also like when he had the choice. Like Jake was like, you could join us, and you could see he was thinking about it, and then he saw Natiri, and he said, he's like, no, I can't do it.
Oh god, that was a smart decision. Audience, there comes a point where it's just Jake, Miles, and Spider. They're escaping together, trying to survive. They're taking turns, staying up at night to, be on the lookout. And the second Natiri comes in with her people, Miles just disappears. Like, no.
That's why he quote unquote killed himself at the end too.
Yeah.
Nick does the same thing. He's like, you don't have to be a bad guy. You could join us. And you could see he's literally thinking and then the whole family comes in. He looks at Natiri. He says, fuck, I'm not.
Jake, I'm talking about the character Jake audience, but I'm like, dude, do you seriously think your wife is going to accept this motherfucker to be on the tribe, dude? Come on. Seriously? After everything that this guy's done to them. Let me see. Tevye is saying, which speaking of Avatar, that reminds me, apparently there are actual Avatar comics which explain some stuff that happened between the two movies. I would like to look at that, that's why I'm giving this movie a little bit extra more points, because I wasn't too invested in the franchise Avatar, but after seeing this, I kind of want to explore more of it, And
I almost wanted to get the video game that came out that Ubisoft did.
I didn't know it was a video game.
Oh,
is that a first-person shooter?
You have it's a third and first-person shooter, but you can play. It's on the PS5. You can play it.
Okay, I'll check it out maybe. And Tevye is also saying, speaking of the humans, that reminds me, why is the human race portrayed in the movie to be all evil? Well, at least the RDA side.
Cryptid, before you answer that, first off, in the game there are good guy humans. Secondly, in the next movie, if we get it, we will actually be going to Earth. So
okay. I hope it explores that, because audience, look. I know, as Tevye has mentioned, why is there all the humans being portrayed as villains? I kind of would like to have a middle ground, like in the first movie, right? can we talk about the resource situation?
Right.
Like every spot in Pandora cannot be sacred ground. There should have been like a conversation between the humans and the Avatar people. Like, okay, what spot in Pandora could we, maybe chop some trees down, this and that, so we don't have a firefight. But if you're telling me the Avatar people would say you cannot chop not a single tree down, like, okay, come on, really, come on.
You notice how they stopped talking about that though, right?
Oh yeah.
So it didn't get morally complicated ever since two onward. They never talk about why they're here.
I know, right? Oh, and also another thing, there comes a part with the whole whale situation. That part I kind of would like to have explored more because I know they're trying to make the humans out to be the bad guys by saying that substance that's in the whale's brain. That's we could use that to prolong people's life for like what 150 or something like that.
Yeah.
To expand people's lifespan. But I'm thinking to myself, that could be used for other minor applications, like maybe for like organ people with organ failure, or maybe that could be a cure for Alzheimer's. But
My
instead, this
thing
movie is
is
kind of
like
like portraying that as like it's trying to portray that as like, no, they just want that because it's worth billions. That's $200 billion for us. That's just going to be used to expand our lifespan. Like there are some good things you could do with that.
my thing
Well,
is that like okay, so like they have this resource that's in the whales, and the whales are capable of they're actually smarter than humans and Navi, like according to the neural pathways, right? My thing is, can we just like talk to them? Can we just be like, hey, is there any way we can extract this without killing you? You know,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
my thing personally.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Um, Tevye is saying, like, seriously, there's got to be something besides with the RDA having all the money, having all about money. That's just dumb. Yeah, it really is.
yeah,
Um,
I wonder if the game explores. I haven't played the game. Oh, by the way, Cryptid, as of this week or I think last week, there's a DLC where you actually get more of the main Quan. So
the
that's also in the
Menquan.
game.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll explore that.
yeah,
So yeah, I'll check that out.
yeah.
Let's see. Which apparently Earth is dying in the future, which raises so many questions. Yeah, another point to bring up.
Well, I mean, did you catch the line in the movie where they said that they were mining it still? They still get it.
Hmm.
So, like remember the base they're at? I think they said something to the effect of we are mining that resource, the resource they need for Earth. They're still getting it from this planet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're fighting over more of the planet, but they already are getting some of it back to Earth. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean,
Gotcha.
they're still getting it. So.
Like we did see good humans on Jake's side, obviously, which makes sense. One thing that didn't make sense to me about like the humans that stayed on this planet, right?
Mhm.
Okay, how are you going to get the resources to like actually live in this planet?
I'm
You
sure it's some
know?
sci-fi moment. I mean, they kind of go over it with Spider, how they get him to live and stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like I know they have like some purifiers in their home bases and that stuff, but like, dude, that's still all everything requires maintenance, right?
right,
And it's not exactly an easy trip to make it from this planet from Earth. So who's going to be giving them supplies when they need it from Earth to bring over to here? Because I can't imagine there's like a Red Cross in this universe that's going to spend billions of dollars to be going like what a hyperspeed to go to this planet to give resources to the humans that betrayed the humans.
right.
Like, yeah, it's and it even brings the whole resource thing even gets brought up with with a spider situation, which you want to talk about Spider at this point?
Yeah, let's go over to
Okay,
the kid who becomes the main
wait,
character
wait,
by the end.
wait. Let's bring up the picture first. Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Okay, Spider audience. We're going to be talking about him for a bit.
Mhm.
Do- um, I
He
feel like he's just a plot device, really.
he takes over the movie out of nowhere.
Yeah. When I look back between this the second movie and this, like he's just there as a plot device is what I see. He's just here to be that one in between that one tether between Jake and Miles, and then he's here to be that bridge between Pandora and the humans. because when he's able to finally actually breathe in Pandora, right, without the face mask, all I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, yeah, that's a good moment, but if I was on like the Avatar side, I would be like, oh my god, no, we gotta kill this guy
That
because
does come up though. That did come up though.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
We gotta kill this kid because if the humans get their hands on him, they're going to dissect him and find a way to reverse engineer a way for all humans to, live in Pandora now. Yeah.
My thing was like, I
So,
feel like Carrie should have been way more important just because she did that.
hmm
You know what I mean? Like she was the one who did that, but like no one seems to care.
hmm let me just retype this comment. And like you said, we did see good humans on the game side of things too, but who are those civilians booing Jake Sully?
Bro, I didn't know that Earth hated Jake Sully that much, bro. That was insane.
Look, if you're telling me like Jake was actually leading the charge and actually killing other people in the military and the scientists here, I would imagine, yeah, we would have like a very negative viewpoint on him. Like,
I love how this dude gets I love how when they capture Jake and he goes to the prison and you see people
yeah,
on their fucking iPhones like, yeah, we got
yeah,
him. We got
yeah.
him.
Not to bring this up, audience, but guy, remember, like this guy was in a wheelchair, when he was in the military, right? And through military funds and resources, they created this avatar body for him to walk and be active in that stuff. So yeah, I do kind of see how a lot of people will be pissed off that, dude, we gave you all this and you turn your back on all of us, really,
Right,
you don't just turn your back, you lead the charge to kill us.
right.
Like, damn. So
Um,
that's the way I see it, at least. But back to Spider. I knew that there was going to be a relationship between him and Kiri. Them being a couple. I mean, because honestly, audience, these days, can anybody just be friends at this point, even if
well, and, I
you're
mean, and
two
the
of the
second one,
people of the same sex?
she was weirdly close with him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, anytime Spider went missing, she almost had a fucking panic attack. She's like, Spider! Oh my god! And then like there's like I remember like no one would be talking about Spider. She'd be like, I miss Spider. So
Oh.
she clearly loved it.
Um,
So
oh yeah, but I would have liked for that to have been more explored. Like again, this needed to be a TV series rather than a movie audience. Because I can imagine, like the build up to them, having forming a relationship. I mean, they do kiss in this movie, but that again, it was just so many other things, so many other plots, so many other character stories that the film is trying to do at once. That he just doesn't have time to
I'm
explore.
I'm surprised more people didn't have a problem with that because while I have no problem with Carrie and Spider being a thing, that is still Sigourney Weaver's adult face on a kid body. So, you know what I
I
mean?
did, I did not know that.
No,
Huh.
I mean that is like she is like I'm pretty sure Carrie is modeled. Her face is modeled to look like Sigourney Weaver's character in the first
Wait,
movie.
wait, but is Sigourney Weaver the actress actually there for all to make all the movements and scenes for Carrie?
No, I think she's just the voice and the face.
Oh, okay.
I just
Uh,
think that I was like, okay, no one's gonna bring up how that's a bit weird. I just, just what I'm saying.
gotcha.
Um,
Tebby is saying, wait a sec, I just realized something. Who are those civilians booing Jake? Were they family members of the soldiers or just random people?
we
I would
know
think.
from Quaritch that military comes here and their family members can also be here as well.
Oh,
Sometimes.
okay. Then it makes all the more sense why they will be booing him and like, they will want to throw tomatoes at this guy, man. Like, we have family members that were killed, that were killed by the people you led into battle, Jake.
Also, they glossed over this completely, but there was a moment when Quaritch talks to Spider and he talks about his mom and he says his mom died in battle, but the only real battle that he's ever been in was in the first movie.
Oh, dang.
That means that during that fight, Spider's mom died.
Okay, yeah.
Because remember,
I did, yeah.
Spider was a baby around that time period, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that she could only have died in that movie.
Wow. Wow, audience. Are you still looking at the humans as the bad guys at this point, audience? Really? You know, like
I just think it's kind of fucked up that Spider's like, oh, the Sullys killed my mom and my dad, but they're good people. Yeah.
dude. There comes a point at during midway into this film, right, where okay, Natiri, there's serious tension between Jake and Natiri, right? Understandable from Natiri's standpoint. And like she's like, "Oh, I'm ready to kill this mother beeper if I have to. Heck, I can do this right now. Right? Just give me that knife, Jake, and I'll do it."
Right.
And then later on, Jake actually midway in the film, he thinks about like the points I'm bringing up about like if the humans get Jake, we're all screwed. So I have to be the one to kill him. And dude,
Bro, he took that kid to
Spider,
the woodshed.
yeah, you took him in the middle of the forest. You put a knife in his throat. You're like trying to give him a prayer, like, "Don't worry, you'll walk with our ancestors." Like, what the fuck, Jake? Jake, I'm Team Avatar, dude. Come on, dude. Don't do this. Don't do this. Like,
Spider is a very forgiving because this is the third
yeah,
time one of his parents has been okay with him dying.
yeah. I mean, like, Jake. I mean, Spider. I know you don't like your biological dad, Miles, but say what you want about him, but he never tried
Never.
killing you, dude.
Never.
But you're
No, actually, if you
but the
really,
two,
what really bugs me, if you remember the second movie, it was like the child for a child scene, and
yeah.
taking Spider hostage, and he was like, "You're not gonna," and then she cuts him, not even thinking about it. He's like,
Wow.
"I'm going to kill your son if you don't let my daughter
God.
go." And then Corey's like, "Okay, all right." I was like, "Shit." And so,
two of your parents that you really love put a knife in your throat, ready to kill you, Spider. But Miles, your biological one, no, not so much as a slap, dude. Like you shot him in the arm. Yeah, he still forgives you and saves your life. Like, damn.
he also constantly makes sure that you are like, are you okay when you're with the military and get captured and all that shit, bro? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
the first interaction between Miles and Jake, right? Like, Miles was all ready to be like, either kill Jake or take him back as prisoner. But then when he found the Spider's mask, and when Jake told him, yeah, his power supply is lowering, and that's the only thing that could save that mask you're holding is the only thing that can save his life. Miles like completely forgets about the mission, and he makes it a mission to go save Spider. I'm like, damn.
yeah.
Damn. But he's the bad. He's supposed to be the villain of this series, right, audience?
I'm saying.
Yep. Let me just read some Tevia's comments saying, "Yeah, I didn't see Spider's mom in the first movie."
No, you don't, because it was a retcon. But he says in this movie that she implies that she was there in that fight.
Gotcha. So. Apparently, it was explained in the Avatar comic with Spider's mom, but we didn't see that in the movie. Yeah, it's always tricky when you're talking about comics based on movies because those are while they're supposed to be in the same franchise, those are written by two different groups of writers, and editorial mandates and all that stuff. Yeah, Notori lost a lot of her people. Honestly, can't blame her. He also accepted death. Oh, right, that was brutal. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't blame Nateri for the way she feels. I'm just saying I find it weird that Spider takes it so well as a teenager.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane.
Do you think it has something to do with him and Kiri, man?
I definitely think she plays a factor.
He's not thinking logically. He's thinking with a certain limb that most teenagers would want to think of at that age. So.
I think it's like at the end of the day, I don't want to hurt the brother and the sister and and all that stuff.
Like, hey, I don't want to hurt my chances with Kiri, So yeah, he has to overlook a lot of things. Yeah. Let's see. What else? What else to say about Spider? Really?
I think he creates a moral. I like how everybody takes the moral dilemma of Spider's existence very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. It is fucked up that Jake Sully thought like I should kill Spider. But to be honest with you, I would be thinking the same thing. I would be like, there's
Yes.
no realistic. I have a man who will go hunt me to the ends of the earth to get me, and now this boy, and I can barely hold him off every time he shows up. And Spider was nearly
Yep.
captured already just because I wasn't looking at him. I don't know how long I can keep Spider alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you know.
so I think Jake's decision was actually the more correct one, where it was like, yeah, I
Mhm.
might have to just kill him here. Um,
And then out of nowhere, Natiri side like, no, 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 you shouldn't kill Spider, which I felt like that was coming out of nowhere. But I guess James Cameron's trying to take that as like, look, see this is the good guy side, you know. Like,
well, well, her arc kind of gets. I don't like. I would feel like her arc should have been the main point of the movie, but her arc was like she's covered in so much bitterness and rage and anger and stuff, and she points. I mean, hers is nuanced. I mean, you can bring up Nateri now if you want. We can talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's bring her up. To do her picture right here.
Yeah.
Do.
Natiri's arc is more like she is so in her feelings right now. She is like lashing out at everyone. But Spider,
Yeah,
especially because he is human and the son of Courage, who
yeah,
killed her family. And it's more like, I mean, it's not even just him. I mean, there's like that scene where they break down like what she's going through. And she's even questioning like if she even likes her own family because they are half
Ooh,
human.
yeah.
You know,
She
so
during this movie audience, she openly states she is racist towards humans.
yes,
Those pink people, you know, and
she
then
hates
like
their fucking fingers.
she hates everything about them, and then Jake is like, you know, I was human once too. Like, yeah, yeah. Um, let me just read Sevia's comment. Actually, question: how does Spider's biology become half human and half Navi? Because the plot point raises so many questions.
Well, that's
Basically, Jesus magic.
there. It's
That's
explained. Basically, what happened was Carrie tapped into Awa. Awa gave Spider a
see.
parasite that is connected to his body. Not a parasite, a symbiote, if you
Yeah,
will, that is connected to his body. And as long as it is in his body, he can breathe like a Navi and he can interact with the environment like a Navi can. But he won't actually be a Navi. Like he'll just have enough
yeah,
to survive as one, essentially.
yeah.
And if
I
the
mean,
humans can recreate that symbiote and put it in their people, then they too can be Navi as well or have
yeah.
Navi. So
And they also went as far as to explain that yeah, you once that symbiote's attached, there's no way to remove that at that point. You know, that's there permanently, you know?
right.
Let's see. Yeah, Natari's characters personally for me is probably the best character in this movie. Yeah, definitely brutal. And honestly, you can't blame her because RDA killed a lot of people. That's
I,
true. Oh,
I don't I
there's
don't
the go ahead.
I think her character is interesting. I think it doesn't get the time it needs to really fully develop. I think it just kind of does.
Hmm.
Because the idea with Spider was that she just got to this point where she was just so consumed in all this like blood and rage, and then she had a moment to think about it and how like yeah, but it's not Spider's fault for all of this, and I don't like the person I'm becoming because of my hatred,
Yeah,
and that's what. So she washes that away, and she chooses to embrace Spider and her family. So.
that's true, you know?
So
So good on her. Also, there's one character moment her with what's her name? The pregnant avatar?
oh, I forgot her name. They
Yeah.
hate each other since the second movie. I think it's funny.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna have a character analysis of on that character, but I do like to bring up. I like the scene, like where she got shot in the shoulder, right, Natari,
Mhm.
and you have that one water queen. She's helping bandage up her wound, and they're pretty much bickering this and that. And I love how Natari is like making the point of saying, "You keep talking, I will forget that you are pregnant." Like,
Yeah.
okay, and in the back of my mind is like, oh bullshit, James Cameron. You have this pregnant woman literally on the front lines of a war zone. Come on, now you're bringing
But,
up that you shouldn't hit a pregnant woman. Come on,
but she suffered
And
the
what happened to that
consequence.
pregnant woman, audience?
She
Oh
died as she would.
yes, yes, audience. Oh, dude, right at the point where like literally right as they're going to battle, she could feel the baby's gonna pop out at any second. Yet she still decides to go join the battle. Like,
Right.
come on.
Which was insane. Thank God Nateri was right next to her, or that baby was dead.
Oh yeah, I know, dude. Oh man, I hate that Spire first film for like making it cool to have pregnant women go directly into battle. You know, that just seems so wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not. I mean, it feels like as if to say you being a mother isn't like important at all. Like it's not cool that you're bringing new life into the world. You have to also be a
Yeah.
badass while doing it. I'm like, but you're a badass because you made a baby. That's already badass enough.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you know, uh,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, she doesn't have to be like a damsel or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's just cool that you're being a mom is or being like going through the childbirth is insane
Oh
enough.
yeah.
You don't need to be like a battle
You're
hardened warrior in a
you're
battle to be an
you're
impressive woman. So you
you're
know,
already like the center of attention of your family at that point. You know,
right.
everybody's gonna be catering to you.
You are going
Jake,
through a battle that half of your population will never understand. That is
exactly. You
crazy.
know, so if you're saying her going to battle pregnant really makes no sense to me, yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah, I blame Spider Woman for that situation. You know, so
Now listen, I'm not saying that like I'm definitely not like a traditionalist type man, but like I'm sorry, like if I'm your husband and I see you're like especially if you're about to pop out the baby and you're talking about
yeah.
going to the battle of our lives, or even our leader Jake Sully is like, we might lose this one. I'm telling you right now, you are staying at the village. Okay, that is the end of that conversation.
Woman, you are staying in this room. I don't care if I have to act like a sexist. I'd rather you hate me for being a sexist than you going into battle and dying and me forever blaming myself for that. You
Not
know?
just you dying, my baby dying, both of
Yeah.
you. So,
Yeah.
um,
Gotcha.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I you know the
Um,
L husband for that one.
yeah. Um, you got any final thoughts on Natiri before we go on to the actual villain of the other female villain of this movie?
In my ideal head, she should have been the main character because it would have been because in that case it would have been Jake and Terry going through. I like the idea that Jake and Terry's marriage is falling apart while
Mm,
Frang and Porridge's relationship is on the rise, and I think
I
that should have
know.
been the main conflict of the movie. The two couples going to war with each other could have been a very interesting story.
It
So
would have been, yeah. But speaking of counterparts, you want to talk about the one on the poster,
we can.
Varang? All right, Varang audience.
I liked her until she stopped being relevant to the movie.
Yeah, that was a real loss. I mean, again, it's so odd that she is the advertisement of this movie. She was like on all the trailers, front and center, this and that, which made it all the more sad that yeah, she lost relevancy halfway into this film. You know, um, which is sad. Which is even more sad because you wanted to see her and Miles's relationship continue to explore. You know,
I
uh,
wanted full on couple brawl between the Sully duo and the fucking Quaritch duo.
yeah.
That would have been fucking awesome.
that
Because
was that was
because if you notice, that's why Quaritch keeps losing to fucking Sully. It's because one of these fucking Navi people keep helping him. So it would have been
yeah,
kind of cool. It would have been cool if in the
dude.
middle of a fight,
You know,
when Natiri comes to save Jake, fucking Bran comes out of nowhere and just starts fighting. That would have been kind of dope.
yeah. You know, one thing I would have liked, right? Like we talked about how, like in the second movie, like Miles has like some serious PTSD if he sees either an arrow or a bow, right? Audience, I thought it would have been pretty hardcore if, like, he sees an arrow, he starts thinking about his PTSD for a second, only for Valorant to come in and snap that arrow in half. You know,
Yeah,
I
I've been
got
dope. Yeah.
you. Like, and now all of a sudden, Miles, he no longer has that PTSD with the arrow anymore. You know, it would have been cool. And I do like her people's philosophy with fire, this and that. Like they're very antichrist in this sense. You know, burn everything down. Fire is the only pure substance in this world. You know, where was the All Mother when people were suffering? You know, but hey, fire is around. They'll always be around.
I love how they
Um,
just snort cocaine before they go into a fight, bro. That's crazy.
oh yeah, that's another trip for them. Let me read Tevia's comments. Like, if I was smart, would have my wife who's pregnant not go to battle, but if they have no choice, give her a weapon. No, no, that will be her first and only choice if she was my wife. I don't care if, like, how many people we have on our side. If we're outnumbering the enemy like 5-1, like you're staying behind, lady.
Yeah.
Honestly, that conflict with the Fire and Ash people seemed far more interesting. Yeah, it did. Yeah, that was a huge loss because the story was more interesting. Yeah. And like seriously, why didn't we focus on Ash people? Because as villains, they were really awesome and super psychotic, which was very interesting. Dude, they have like their freaking kamikazes
Yeah.
moments here, you know?
Yeah.
Uh there came that point where they were attacking Jake and his people when they were in those air balloons,
Mhm.
and like Varong, like she looked at one of her tribesmen. He was holding up basically like a sack full of flammable liquid, and she knew what he was saying. She lit that sucker on fire, and that guy got engulfed in flames and went and destroyed Jake's ship. I'm like, damn, damn, very scary, you know. And yeah, there were kinky moments that yeah, you can understand why someone like Miles was very intimate with her.
I
I
think
did like go
I
ahead.
find it I find it very disappointing that she did not use a flamethrower more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was another thing to sweeten the deal between her and Miles' audience. Yeah, like when she was she really her people really wanted those guns. As soon as they saw them in action, she's like, "Oh my god, these contraptions made of metal." You know? Oh, that was a taboo thing for the avatars, right? They did not want to use anything that was forged from metal because of they were from the human side, you know?
Jake
But
was on Team Cryptid side because he said, but the fucking spears ain't gonna fight an army though."
yes, I know, right? Like, so, but like, Varang and her people, oh, they would do anything for those pistols, you know? And it didn't matter. There comes this one badass scene, right? Where Miles, he's going into their tribe, he doesn't have his vest on or anything. It's just him in his pants and a gym bag full of weapons, right? Like, he gets surrounded by them and like they're threatening him like we could just take this bag and kill you, it's really no problem. Oh, you think you could kill me, sweetheart? And then he flips on his device saying take the shot, and you have a sniper from around the corner who kills one of her people. But you think she cared? No,
No.
she was like, oh,
Okay.
okay, 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 yeah, come in my tent with me, Miles. I kind of want to see what you're about, you know. And Miles offered her the one thing that she's never had, audience,
And
and
he
that was it. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Uh, Again, she's a perfect complement to Miles's story, going
I
forward.
like how Miles genuinely cared about her too. Like, remember when they go to the RDA and they're like, "Yo, get these people the fuck out of here," and she's like, "Nah, nah, nah, they with me. They're my
Yeah.
people."
Just take the win and quit being a jackass. Like, like yeah, these are this is the tribe that joined the human side, audience, because to them they don't care. They just want to cause more destruction around everywhere they go,
It's also
Um,
a political commentary about America giving weapons to destabilize foreign governments. That's what that also commentary was about.
oh
Um,
yeah, that's true. And if you want to talk about like, indigenous people, like yeah, there were some tribes that did side with the colonizers,
mhm.
audience conflicts, I mean, just look at the history of the Aztecs after all, like oof, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Um Another thing I liked about damn, there was something else oh yeah, yeah. I like the tentacle thing with her, right? Because when she forced her tentacle to connect with other avatars, it was painful for all of them, like that was almost like poison to them. Like as soon as she ambushed Miles and the rest of the guys' troops, no, no, it was actually Miles who ambushed them, right? But then, unbeknownst to Miles, her tentacle got intertwined with his, And she was impressed because most people would be on their knees begging for release, from this pain. But Miles stood up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, your will is strong. Like,
Yeah, it's a believe that eventually she would have gotten him, but he held out longer than most. So no.
yeah. Emphasis on longer. Let's see. Like honestly, in my personal opinion, why didn't we focus on her as the main villain? Yeah, that was a real shot in the foot moment. And yeah, her tentacle felt messed up and anti-awa literally. That was the point, like
Yeah.
it's that forbidden fruit. Some people like the dominatrix, really at the end of the day.
I
So
think also it's kind of sad because she is the anti Nateri. She's everything Nateri doesn't believe. She is set up to be Nateri's nemesis, and she has like a bone to pick with Nateri the whole film. But
mhm.
they never have that like moment. You know what I mean? Like they never have that moment where it's like them, like they don't really affect each other in the ways they should. I
Yeah.
feel. So
Mhm.
that's kind of a letdown. But,
It was. Let's see. Anything else we could really say about Varang before we get to the children?
I think the way she went out was kind of pathetic, to be honest with you. But
Yeah. But again, this is like the Antichrist going up against a Messiah figure with plot armor, really.
yeah, it just made
Well,
her seem way less cool. I like the way Miles went out more than her. Um,
yeah,
I honestly think it really should have just been Natiri versus Vrong. I think it should have just been how it ended.
yeah, yeah. Hey, she is the standout star of this film. Audience love right up there with Miles. So. All right, but yeah, any final thoughts on this before we talk about the children?
No, let's go on.
Okay, let's talk about the Messiah herself, Kiri.
Yeah,
Uh,
Sigourney.
yeah. She's the one special one among the one in a million people that have been born. Audience.
Yeah.
They do elaborate on her creation, the fact that she doesn't have a father. Uh, I still don't really understand how she was able to be conceived. They said it
Um,
was it
it
was
was
between yeah. Go
Sigourney Weaver was dying, and they tried to do this thing to revive her, but it didn't work. And then Ava randomly decides, actually, I want to clone her and make her an avatar of my will. And when she's old enough, she will be ready to tap into that full potential. But for now, she can't, and that's what she is.
Wow.
She is like a genetic clone of Sigourney Weaver and Ava. So
Wow. So once again, a human is more intertwined in this world than the actual natives in it. Wow.
yeah,
I wonder if it's saying something. But her character was, they embraced her god like powers. She's more intertwined with the earth now. She did something that nobody thought was possible and give a human the right to breathe. Like I wish there could have been some breathing room between her and Spider's developing further into their relationship. It just kind of seemed well. Again, this should have been a show audience.
you notice he was
So
acting real different after that kiss because then all of a sudden he thought he could take on the whole Manquan tribe.
yeah. Well, there's that audience. There's that. So yeah. Is there really much to say about her?
I think my problem with her is that she has a very broken ability, and the humans do
Mhm.
not care about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for all
they'll,
intents and purposes, I mean, yeah, getting Spider also helps, but she's the reason Spider could even do that.
Mhm.
So it would make more sense to get both of them. Like, I mean, they need Jake Spider and Carrie. I feel, you know.
Oh yeah. Sammy is saying Kiri as a character wasn't really interesting in my opinion. Also, you're telling me she and Grace Avatar made her pregnant. How does that make any sense?
It was just Awa. Awa did it. Really, that's
Yeah,
really.
it's just it's
I mean,
the Virgin Mary situation, I guess if you
yes,
want
the
to
Immaculate
phrase that.
Conception. She's just yeah.
Yeah. God impregnated Mary and she gave birth to Jesus and Kiri's the Jesus figure basically.
Yeah.
Uh, wait. Stop. How does that work? I didn't. I skipped on Avatar health class in high school, audience. So don't ask me. Honestly, their relationship really confuses me. It should have been elaborated more. Let's see. What else? There was something else I wanted to say about her. Well, I think we have more of a comment more about the whole children as a whole, but I'll say that for when we talk about the last kid. So yeah.
It honestly bothered me that she can't tap into Ava by herself, but she, with the help of Loak and Took, that's all it took. Nope, I didn't mean to say it like that. But all it took was 3 kids, and then you could tap into the full powers of Awa is kind of insane to me.
Yep.
That's the only
Hey, it's about family, Jake. All right.
But I thought it was that she just wasn't old enough. You mean to tell me that Awa's only concern was that you just can't come in here by yourself? That's what
Yep. Mhm. Honestly, they should have focused all the resources on capturing Natari because her character has the power of a god, literally. Yep.
capture theory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That is true.
yeah, but it is what it is. I thought her character was fine, and I hope you like her now because she's going to be the main character of the next movie.
Okay. We'll see
Sigourney
what
Weaver said she's going to be the narrator for the next film.
Oh wow. Okay. We'll see where that goes. But speaking of narrators, you want to go to the last sibling?
Yeah, let's go.
Gotcha.
Yo, I'm gonna lie to you. I felt bad for Lola at this point.
Oh, dude, his family audience pressured him so much that he actually literally pointed a gun to himself. I'm like, good lord, dude.
Jesus.
Look, I know like his brother died based on the decision he made, but god dang it, that's something that's never gonna leave him, audience. I mean, in his defense, this family is survived as long as they have because they got lucky.
Right.
Let's be honest. Like they're putting anybody could have died at any given moment based on how many times they were captured, based on how many times they were in the midst of a battlefield, based on how many times they got separated. I mean, dude, anybody could have died. That's what I'm trying to say.
Miles
but now,
only lost this movie because God helped this family, bro. That is
we
have, bro.
Yeah, but I know, but it just kind of feels messed up that now he's forever going to have the guilt of his brother's death on him. Jake, God forbid, Jake, if one of your other children die too, and amongst all the chaos that's going around your family, dude. Like,
But he wasn't fucking with Loak since the Way of Water.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was like an asshole to him in the last movie.
Oh wow, yeah, he kicked him so hard,
I don't think he ever really liked Loak like that. I think he's always really hard on him.
Yeah, sad.
But he becomes the Jake Sully of the sea. So
I mean, he is going to hook up with a sea avatar after all, audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I just feel sorry for this kid. That's really my overall opinion on him is.
Yeah, I mean, he tries to be a leader, but he's not really like a good one. I don't think, at least in the situation we've seen, where they're running from the main Quan.
Mm-hmm.
He was struggling to keep everybody together the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And to Jake Sully's credit, sometimes he does do stupid shit. Like he told him repeatedly, have your communicator on you at all times, and then he just forgot to put it on him. So when the fight started with the main Quan, he could not communicate with his dad. So I mean, he does.
Well, we all do stupid things when we're young, audience.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's still a kid. It's just like he doesn't help his case sometimes. So.
Yeah. Anything more to say about him, really?
Not really. I think his problem is that I don't understand why he's the narrator of this film. It's not even about him.
Yeah. It's just a drawing straws moment at this point,
Yeah.
I mean, heck, we're not even going to bother talking about the other little sister Took after all, because what was she here for at this point?
Two movies in, I don't know what Took does for the plot. I don't know why they have another kid. That Took should not be in the story, and now they have another kid.
Oh.
they adopted the sea queen's wife. I mean, the sea queen.
Doesn't she? Doesn't that little baby have a father and a sister still around?
Yeah, but she told Nateri to take care of it for some reason. So
Oh wow!
yeah, yeah.
What the? Dude, your husband is still alive, lady. What the hell? You
Well,
still
okay.
haven't done?
To be fair, I didn't think he was alive either. Their battle went terribly, so I think she just assumed her husband died in that fight.
Wow.
I was surprised he lived because there was nobody left at the very end. Only the animals had to save themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I don't get that logic. When in Rome, audience, I guess, hey, the other tribes have different values and different customs after all, I guess. Yeah. So, man, I just realized we talked about every member of Jake's family, and we haven't even actually talked about Jake himself. You realize that?
I thought we did.
Did we? Oh, well, we never brought up his picture. Might as well talk about him at least.
Yeah, sure.
Jake, how do you feel about
Um,
Jake?
yeah, I think Jake Sully and Jake Sully is always, um, Jake Sully has always kind of been whatever to me.
He has
It
to
does,
be the straight. He has to be the straight shooter audience. That's the
well,
way I see it.
my thing is he can deliver some really cool, badass one-liners, but as a character, I usually don't care about him.
Hmm.
Especially because he's an asshole to most of his kids, or at least his sons. You
Oh,
know. It also doesn't help that I know this voice actor for Call of Duty Black Ops, and
yeah.
I love his character in Black Ops, so I kind of also have a hard time separating the two as well.
Hmm.
But I don't know with Jake, I was like, I do like they tried giving him another character arc in this one. He hasn't had a character arc since the first movie.
Yeah.
And this arc was him try. I guess you could say it
Saving
was
the
him
family.
trying to be the guy from the first movie again, right? I guess what
Yeah.
you could say it is.
He's just trying to. He's just trying to save his family. That's just his only motivation.
Yeah,
Technically, what else is there to say about Jake Sully as a character? Not much. I think it's also because like we've already seen his character develop since the first film. I mean, the first film was all about his character being developed. Second film was him, as a member of the Avatars. This film, yeah, his main mission in life is just to look after his family. That was it.
yeah, and trying to
There's
reach
no
out to
layers.
Courage when he could, I guess. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I guess yeah, this arc where he's like he's still grieving
Hmm.
and he doesn't know what to do with that grief, so he puts it all into action, and he has a hard time opening up. But
Yep.
that doesn't kind of really go far, I suppose.
Hmm.
I do like how he has a soft spot for Quaritch, even though I don't understand what he thinks is going to happen if he changes sides. He's not going to. It's not like he's not going to let him join the family. So
You're already walking on a tightrope with your wife letting Spider live. Like you really think she would let Miles live, dude?
yeah, and then the other thing too is that So right, so like let's just say he does switch sides. I mean, it's already proven that Quaritch is just going to join the Fire People. Like he would never be a good guy. He just wouldn't be killing the avatars anymore.
Yep.
So I mean, no, he would actually still be killing avatars. He just wouldn't be killing for the humans. That's it. So,
Yep. That's just like James Cameron, I guess, like trying to put moments to make Jake look like the hero. See the good in all people but in reality you're like, dude, that's never gonna happen, dude. Like with Miles joining your tribe. Yeah.
I'll give
uh,
these movies credit. They at least tried to have Jake go down a dark place with Spider in it. With Spider, it unfortunately didn't go anywhere, but at least it was interesting for 5 minutes. I think I think it is. I think the idea that him and Nateri are having 3 movies in are finally addressing. Okay, there's some problems in this marriage we have just not been talking about. And I think that's very realistic. Like the first movie was the honeymoon phase, and the second one they're kind of stable. But now some
wow.
real issues keep coming up, and it's affecting their entire family. And I like how they're not a perfect married couple anymore. Now they do struggle, but they do love each other.
Yep.
I mean,
wow, who can expect a marriage between two people that try killing each other when they first met each other would have problems, audience, you know?
right.
Who's
I usually
going?
don't get that. You usually get the fairy tale ending of like, yeah, we're together and we're happy and all sorts of stuff. But now they're having, and I'm not talking about they're having like, it's not like this, because it's not like the generic, oh, we're not communicating effectively. It's like, no, they're talking. They just have a lot of pent up anger about the situation they're in. They're taking it out on each other.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think that's that. I mean, it's a realistic depiction of like, well, pseudo realistic depiction of like a marriage this late in the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Man, I'm just saying, man, there's like some serious tension building up if you're telling me you as a husband have to hold your wife down who has a knife in her hand. I'm like,
Right.
ooh, yeah, yep.
Yeah, and I
That's
like how
just
they tried compromising with each other. Like, like I know Nateri just wanted to kill fucking Spider since the start, but he's like, how about we just send him back with the humans and that'll work. Uh,
yep.
so
Mm,
yeah, I like these. I still like Jake Sully as a main character, a main lead, but I don't really think of him much beyond that role.
yeah. I mean, there's only just so much you can do at that point when you've seen a character develop, like from embracing this whole tribe to being a family man. Like, where does your character go after that, really, audience?
Yeah.
So that's really it. Is there anything else left to delve in that we haven't delved in yet?
I think this movie is the best one. I think the pacing for this movie is way better than the other two. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we could watch this for movie night, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, 3 hours, dude. Come on.
That's a lot. I mean, listen, we watched Endgame. I just think this movie doesn't. It's not rewatchable like Endgame is. I feel to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but
Um, I, Again, I just give me like at least an hour special on Miles and his wife. So if we do get another movie, audience, I do want to see them explore those who have a child, and see where Miles's allegiance lie after that. So
yeah,
mhm,
people talk about how great the movie looks. I typically don't care about that kind of thing.
mhm,
I'm really more like a story guy. But I gotta say, I walked away from this
mhm.
movie saying the same thing I said at the end of Way of Water. I would not mind another one of these. I wouldn't mind
There,
watching a sequel.
this is one of those movies you have to have the theatrical experience to truly appreciate it.
All right.
I want to go. I wanted to see it in Dolby, audience, but I just didn't have time but I just didn't have time to actually get the good seats. By the time I was like looking up for seats, they were all filled up. So the best I could do was an IMAX 3D experience. Still visually good on the eyes.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
also kind of appreciate that we didn't. I mean, one of the benefits of not doing the Ash people more is that we actually spent more time learning more about the water people. I did complain about
Mhm.
this watching Way of Water. I have this thing where it's like, it kind of sucks that we just keep going from tribe to tribe instead of actually learning the nuances of each culture.
Yeah.
We keep moving around. But in this movie, we actually
Mhm.
do kind of see the nuances of like what the water tribe does when we've been introduced to them. So now, what else do they do? How do they get around? They have like a trading community. They have meetings with the Tulkun, or no, they have meetings with the whales, or whatever they're called. They're called Tulkun.
Yeah, yeah.
They have
Call
meetings
me
with the
Mel.
whales, all this other stuff. And I gotta say, I, there was a moment in the finale. I honestly thought the bad guys were gonna win. So
Audience, you know how like there comes a point where like when the heroes are losing, all hope is lost, and then that's when the cavalry arrive to help the humans. In this movie, it did a twist. It kind of did the other way around, where it's like Jake and his side were winning. They were beating against the humans, the military, destroying their robots, only for the cavalry to come in the form of Miles and the rest of the fire people. I'm sorry, the fire avatars to come in. Then yeah, I was like, oh
yeah, and
wow,
they single-handedly fuck them up, bro. Like it is a
yeah.
ass whooping from hell. And even Jake's like, dude, we're done. Like there's nothing. And then they also have you hold on hope because Kiri's like, I'm gonna call Awa and she's gonna save us. And randomly they blow up that tree. So, so there's like a long,
Oh, man,
there's like 10 minutes of the film where it's just this depressing, like we're fucked. Like there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, good guys win in the end. It just was like James Cameron really made me. I was like, damn, are we really just gonna add this on a to be continued? Or are we just like, oh, we're fucked? Is this the Empire Strikes Back?
Yep.
What happened to the female corner? She got away.
Oh, I thought she died.
No, she wanted to get the ship out of the sea, but they couldn't because of the gravity well. And so she just said, we're abandoning ship. Let's just take our little shots and get out of here.
Okay. I mean, either way, even if she did die, she's like one of those types of characters where if you replace her with another colonel, is that really changing anything? Not really, So
yeah. I do like how she kept telling Quaritch, like, I don't care about this Sully thing anymore. This has got to stop. It's very irrelevant.
Yep. I like her expression when she saw Miles coming into the war council room after he was already painted and decked out in the fire people's wardrobe and culture. Like, dude, you've gone full native. Like,
yeah, she's like routinely done with Quaritch's shit. I think it's funny.
Oh yeah.
But who almost saved the day in the end? Okay. It sucks. He's gonna get blamed for that too. I don't think it was Quaritch's fault. That was not his fault at all. He won. Like he legit won that exchange. She
didn't want those fire avatars to be part of the battle, but damn, they saved their asses. Yeah. At least halfway through the battle, So
they only lost because of some bullshit that was out of anybody's control. No one would. As if you're supposed to predict that they have Jesus on their side. Like, what are we talking about?
I know, right?
So I hope if Quaritch is alive, I hope he doesn't get blamed for that. That is not his fault. So.
Yep. Wow. But
would you be interested in seeing another one of these cryptid?
Yeah. I mean, I'm already invested in Miles' side now, so I want to see him explore more. So yeah. Tevi saying, honestly, her expression with Corlick is probably the most smart thing Rang female colonel said. And Quarrick basically lost because God. Yep.
God said you can't win.
God is the only reason you lost. Damn.
Yeah, it's like God to stop you. Okay.
Yep.
Wasn't it in the first movie too? Did he lose because Awa came in or something?
Yeah. Basically, Awa commanded the creatures of Pandora to come in and help the avatars.
If I was Cords, like I gotta figure a way to kill God. That's
good. Oh man, he's hardcore enough to actually tempt that audience.
You kill God first, and then you don't fight her later. How do you feel about Kiri being the one to defeat Brang, though?
Again, it just kind of felt like I don't want to think of it as like demeaning Varang, but I would have liked them to have defeated her in a separate way. Aside from that, it was a very Antichrist meets Christ figure moment.
I understand the symmetry, but these characters had no interaction with each other. I mean, they had one, I guess. But my problem also was like she just runs away like a scared coward, I guess.
I know.
And I was like, that gets sort of so much aura from her. Like she's not as intimidating,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, at this point, if I was humans, I would just leave this planet and find another planet that actually has air that we can breathe.
No, but that's the thing. Like, they're actually doing fine. Like, the only reason this is getting dragged out is because Miles keeps chasing Jake Sully.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing fine. They literally said they have a base already on the planet, and they're getting the resources back to Earth. The only thing that keeps, and I mean, they're elsewhere on the planet. That's why they said just leave Sully alone. We don't care about Sully. We're bringing this dude up. I don't give a shit about him anymore.
Yep. Yep. But Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much approaching the end of this discussion. Do you have any final thoughts on this, Jake?
No, I just think if I don't get another one, I kind of do want to see the human shit though. I do kind of want to go to Earth.
Hmm.
So I really do
Yeah.
hope we get Avatar 4. That sounds interesting.
Hmm.
Um, and I do kind of want to see like what that plot would be about. Why are we going back to Earth? That's a long way away. Um,
Hmm.
is Jake Sully still going to be in the plot, or are we following the kids full on now?
Are the actual avatars going to be appearing on Earth? I wonder.
I think so.
Oh,
Well, because they said the main conflict will take place on Earth.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So see how that goes.
Yeah. And then,
So,
will we actually address why the humans are here again? Because we haven't done it in 2 movies. So,
oh yeah, that's true.
yeah.
But yeah, wow. So, well, audience, that's really our discussion on Avatar Fire and Ash. Just want to say thank you thank you Tevia for being in the comments and giving your thoughts and being part of this conversation. Means a lot, and yeah, audience, hope you leave a comment and a thumbs up. Wouldn't hurt either. I mean, it's almost the end of the year and it's almost Christmas after all. So,
It's like Christmas
yeah,
Eve.
true. But yeah, audience, hey, want to say goodbye, Jake?
Yep. See ya. Bye.
See you next time. Do do do.